Hi, it's Barry Neal here. In this video, I want to cover the 3 secrets to successful inductions. As you learn hypnosis and as you learn more about hypnosis, most people spend their time thinking about inductions, worrying about whether or not they're going to be able to hypnotize people. This is unnecessary. Hypnotizing people is so simple when you understand these 3 secrets of success. So as you learn hypnosis, if you learn these 3 principles, you'll find that you can induce hypnosis in pretty much anyone as long as you have agreement with them that that's what you're going to do. So the more you learn about this, the more you will understand how easy it is. And the reason it's easy is because we've done away with all the myths about hypnosis. Nowadays, from the research that we know, hypnosis is not an altered state of consciousness. You don't have to do certain language patterns to bypass the critical faculty of the conscious mind or any nonsense like that. You don't have to learn all these different confusional techniques. You don't have to use progressive muscle relaxation techniques to relax the client into hypnosis, because hypnosis has nothing to do with relaxation. Relaxation is just a suggested phenomenon. Now, it can be very useful for some clients who need to learn how to relax, but it is absolutely not necessary for a successful hypnosis session. And as long as you understand it, as you learn hypnosis, you'll find that then it makes inducing hypnosis so much easier. So the first secret to successful hypnosis and successful inductions is to, number 1, be the hypnotist. Now, what on earth does that mean, be the hypnotist? Well, years ago, if you go back and look at some of the old hypnosis books, and I'm talking about over 100 years ago, there was never a mention about rapport. That was just, no one ever had heard of it. All they would bang on about, all they would say was, you need to have prestige, that the hypnotist needs to have an air of prestige about them, that they are the hypnotist. There's kind of something special about them. There's something different about them. Now, a lot of street hypnotists have taken advantage of this because they have t-shirts with hypnotist written on them, either on their shoulder, on their chest, or on their back. So straight away, when someone sees them, they go, oh my God, it's a hypnotist. And straight away, there is a sort of belief and expectancy starting to be built. But if you're in private practice, people are coming to you. Presumably they've seen your website, they might have seen YouTube videos of you. You're gaining credibility, you're building belief and expectancy. So you are becoming the hypnotist. When they come in your office, you might have a recliner there. So they start looking at it and think, oh, I'm going to go into hypnosis. When you're talking with them, you can suggest to them, okay, in a moment, we're going to go over to the hypnosis chair where everyone gets to go into hypnosis in. You're building belief and expectancy, and you are the hypnotist. So straight away, you want to become the hypnotist. Make it really clear that this is who you are. And I know there are some hypnotists out there who kind of dress flamboyantly as well. That's not really necessary, but you really just need to give this persona that you are the hypnotist. Be congruent in the fact that you are able to hypnotize people. If you do that, they will believe you. So a lot of what we do is about building belief and expectancy in the minds of our clients. So that's the first secret. Be the hypnotist. Have prestige about you, that you can hypnotize that person. And if you do that, you might look them in the eye a little bit longer than other people do, without blinking, anything like that. Those sorts of things start to build the belief that you are a hypnotist. So that's number 1. That's secret number 1. Secret number 2 is get a contract. Now, I'm not talking about a written contract, but I'm talking about getting a verbal agreement. Forget about hypnotizing people who don't want to be hypnotized. That's nonsense. Sure, you possibly could if you wanted to do some sort of covert method, but why would you want to do that? You are doing this with your clients. If you're doing street hypnosis, you're doing it out in the open. So get a contract with the person. Say something like, in a moment, I'm going to give you all the suggestions and therapies that I feel through my training experience, which will allow you to go into a level of hypnosis to the point where we can make these changes quickly and easily and effectively. All that you need to do is to follow along to the best of your ability. Want it to work, agree with your suggestions. Don't fight them, don't analyze them, just want them to work. And if you do your bit and I do my bit, then we get success. So are you ready to do some hypnosis? Yes. You get agreement with them. So you get agreement that they are going to do their part and you are going to do your part. Once you've got that, pretty much anything you say will cause them to go into hypnosis. If you've got that agreement and you've got that prestige, you've got that belief and expectancy built in. The third one is tell them what you are going to tell them, and then tell them. Now, what does that mean? Well, you're going to tell them, in a moment, I'm going to do X, and when I do X, I expect you to close your eyes and allow your whole body to drop down loose and limp and relaxed and go all the way down into hypnosis. So you're telling them what you're going to tell them. So you go, okay, and then you do X. So for example, you might say, in a moment, I'm going to have you close your eyes and relax them to the point where they're so relaxed that they just won't work. When you know they're so relaxed that they just won't work, hold on to this level of relaxation and then test them to make sure they won't work. So now you're telling them what you're going to tell them. And for those of you who studied hypnosis and learned hypnosis before, that's the start of the Ullman induction. So you're telling them what you're going to tell them. Then you say, okay, now close your eyes and relax them to the point where they just won't work. Now hold on to that level of relaxation and then test them to make sure they won't work. And sure enough, they won't work if they followed your instructions. Now that's how it's done in the Ullman induction, but it's done in so many other ways. You can make up an induction. So you could say something like this. Okay, I've got a pen here. Now, in a moment, I'm going to hold this pen up like this. And what I want you to do is I want you to stare at that pen, put all your attention on that pen. And in a moment, after a few seconds, I'm going to drop that pen. And the moment you see that pen fall from my fingers, what I want you to do, what I expect you to do is to close your eyes and go all the way down into hypnosis and allow yourself to go all the way down into hypnosis. Are you ready? Yes, great. So just stare at the pen. Just keep looking at the pen. As you keep looking at the pen, notice the tendency for your eyes to begin to defocus. That's it. Getting ready. Ready. And stop. And that's it. You're telling them what you're going to tell them. And then you tell them. And this is a kind of old salesman technique that's been around for years, but it applies to hypnosis as well. So you can make up any induction whatsoever if you just tell them what you're going to tell them. You might do a kind of handshake induction and you say, okay, I want you to take my hand. Okay, in a moment, I'm going to shake your hand 3 times and then I'm going to pull down on it. The instant I do that, I expect you to close your eyes and go all the way down in hypnosis. Are you ready to do some hypnosis? Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and sleep. Done. Instantly they go down hypnosis and you're away. Same with the magnetic fingers, same sort of thing. In a moment, I have put your fingers up like this, imagine there's magnets on it. Same thing. So you're just telling them what you're going to tell them, and then you tell them, and straight away they go into hypnosis. The other thing is, which could be secret number 4, is use the word hypnosis as often as possible, because that in itself has a lot of power. Words are anchors for experience. Many people have this idea of what hypnosis is. You keep saying hypnosis, they're going to go into hypnosis much, much quicker than usual. So it's really simple. Inductions are so simple. Forget about learning all this nonsense language patterns and coming up with convoluted conscious, unconscious, double binds and all this nonsense, and just be the hypnotist. Get a hypnotic contract with them and then tell them what you're going to tell them and then tell them, and bingo, you've got hypnosis. So as you learn hypnosis, this is one of the easiest ways for you to learn hypnotic inductions and to learn to create them literally on the spot. I mean, you can do something simple like I did with the pen. You could do that with Elman used to do it with a cigarette. It doesn't matter. Just tell them what you're going to tell them and then tell them, and out they go. So it's really simple. As you learn hypnosis, you're going to find that the inductions are the simplest part. Don't try and confuse things. Anyone who tells you that they're complicated or you've got to do this, that and the other, it's nonsense. They're not altered states of consciousness. It has nothing to do with relaxation. It has to do with suspending the disbelief and then believed in imaginings. And then once you've got the hypnosis, I highly recommend that you start using tests and convincers to prove the person that they're in hypnosis. And we'll cover that in another video. Now, if you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell. Make sure you make a comment if there's things you want to learn about, anything else you want for me to cover. But like and subscribe. There's always more content coming on in this channel. So until then, I'll see you soon.